You've got adversity, and I know you've written an article about this. If they wanted adversity, they got adversity at the midway point of the season. What are your thoughts? Just how does this help them? Does it hurt? Does this define them? How they handle this?
It will define them. I'll go there because this team, how it responds to adversity. Donovan Mitchell has talked about it dating back to March and April of last season, talking about this is what they needed, a chance to test their adversity. Last season, they didn't have that, right? They won 64 games. They were one of the best teams in the entire NBA. They were front runners in the Eastern Conference, and it didn't pan out. So they needed this kind of level of adversity, this kind of smack in the face to say, you aren't as talented as you think you are. You're going to have to play with this level of effort, intensity, and energy to be able to win in a playoff series and also find a way to win difficult contests. Last season, when the Cavs were playing, they were blowing teams out, and teams would still shrink the lead when it came to the fourth quarter, which allowed the Cavs to be a fourth quarter team. But now they're playing from behind more so than they are leading, which has allowed them to try and figure out how to win tough games coming from behind, but also how much more difficult that is for them because you're exposing so much more energy, expending so much more energy than you would be when it comes to playing from in front. And I think the adversity is something that Donovan Mitchell has talked about them needing, but it's about how they continue to respond and whether or not that will define their season. Because if they can respond, if they're healthy enough to respond, that's important. But also, if they're willing to admit their flaws and where they need to grow, that is how this Cavs team gets to where it wants to go.